to my channel. So today's video is going to be about two of my mini handbags. I get asked about these bags quite often, and I thought it'd be fun to do a comparison because I do actually think they are very similar. So the two handbags that I'm going to be talking about today are my Furla Metropolis and my Chanel Square Mini. So I love these bags. I think they are so great. I've really fallen hard for mini bags lately, and these are two of my favorite ones. I just think they're so cute, and I actually do think they are very comparable as far as size, shape, and the general vibe that they give an outfit. Where they are not comparable is as the price. So the Furla Metropolis, the full retail of this is $298. The Chanel Square Mini retails for $2,900. This is basically a tenth of the price of the Chanel, and to be honest, when I say that out loud, that sounds really ridiculous. It really does. But either way, I still have the bags, and I think that they're very comparable. I think that whether this is out of your budget, this is still a pricey bag. I mean, $300 is not cheap at all. I think even if you own Chanel's and you just want more that give a similar, style, feel, I think this one is very comparable. The Chanel one, I will say, because it's Chanel, because they just don't make as many of them, one, it's very difficult to get. I actually tried to get on the wait list for this bag, and I was put on the wait list at the beginning of this year. I still have yet to receive a call or anything about this bag. I ended up actually buying it pre-loved from an individual, which I'm kind of glad that I did because I really wanted to get a Chanel that was gold plated instead of just gold colored, and they did make that change in 2012, I believe. One way that you can notice that is because of mine is etched here on the CCs. That's how you know that if it's gold plated versus just gold colored. I do kind of feel like moving forward I will continue to buy pre-loved for Chanel. Most likely, especially if it's classic. I just think I like the idea of the gold plated. But I do want to go into the features of the two, of this one, and then I'll go into this one as well. But really quickly, I will say that this one is obviously more readily available. I will of course link it down below, some different places where you can buy it, where I purchased it. It comes in a ton of colors, whereas this one, there are seasonal colors, but again, there are limited quantities, so that it's very difficult to get your hands on them. And even if you do get your hands on them, it's still 10 times more expensive. Whereas this one is always available in a lot of colors. This is the beige color. There's another gray kind of taupey color available. There's black, which obviously is going to be more comparable to this. Like I said, if this is out of budget and you really want that kind of Chanel classic mini square flap vibe, get this with black with the gold hardware, and it's beautiful. It also comes in fun spring colors and pastels and brights, and even there's a navy, which is gorgeous. I mean, this one just comes in a ton of different colors. So like I said, I'll link some options down below, and it also is in gold hardware, which I love. I just prefer gold hardware. So I do want to go into the features of the differences of the two and kind of go. We'll go ahead and start with the Chanel Mini. So I do want to note that obviously this one is quilted leather, so that is going to be a big difference. Also, the way that you open it is slightly different, even though just the way that it works is the same. They're both flat bags, but this one is a twist. You pull it out of the CCs and it opens up like that. Before we go into the inside, I do want to note that this one does have a back pocket, but in my opinion, especially because of the size, I don't use this. I don't really ever plan on using this for multiple reasons. One, it's really tiny, and two, I don't really want to stretch it out, so I just kind of leave it there. So even though it's physically there, I don't feel like it's a very useful pocket, so I do not use this, but it is there, and I do want to note that. And then when you open it on the inside, there is one main compartment, and then on the back there is a slit pocket here, which I do use all the time, and then there is a zipper compartment there. You can see the zipper there. I do not use the zipper compartment. I've opened it a couple of times, but to be honest, it's really tight, and I also don't want to stretch that out. So I just leave it zipped and do not bother with that at all. And then you can see, you can just pull on the chain and it pulls that out. And then let me show you the main compartment again as well. You can see everything is there. And there's like the Chanel logo and everything, and then the tag and everything is down there in that corner. This one is slightly different as far as the way that the opening is, but it's still a flap, and there is no pocket in the back. Doesn't bother me at all, even the slightest. So this one actually opens very similar to the Pochette Métis. You actually push these two together and it pops open just like that, and then it opens up just like a flat bag. When you open it up, this one also has one main compartment, and then it has just one slip pocket here in the back, no zipper compartment. But again, I don't use the zipper compartment, so that doesn't bother me at all. So the chain on this one is just a metal chain, this one being intertwined with the leather, so that is another difference. So this one can look maybe slightly a little bit dressier, but I am all for like pairing casual and dressy. I love kind of mixing the two vibes together. But you can see it's just one main compartment there as well. So as far as size-wise, I think it's pretty clear that these are very comparable. I do want to show you them side by side just so you can see truly how comparable they are. I mean, they are very, very similar. So here, let me put this. You can see even the thickness, the height. Another thing to note is the way that the straps are attached to the bag. The Furla is attached on the sides, and then the Chanel, the straps are attached on the top through these rings. So I will say that technically you're not supposed to adjust the straps. I mean, I guess there is a way that you could put them in here and tie this together. There are all kinds of ways that you can do that. Technically, the bags aren't meant to adjust the straps. So the Chanel would probably be a little bit more difficult in my opinion. I think especially as far as the space goes, anything that you did would just eliminate room inside the bag, and I just feel like that's kind of pointless. So technically, could you adjust the strap a little bit if you wanted to? Yes, of course you could. There are ways that you could do it. Is it meant to be that way? No. Do I recommend it? No, it's just my opinion. And then this one I do think would be a little bit more easily adjustable. And the reason why I say that is because what is basically holding this in is this toggle here. You can see that toggle. So if you really needed to, you could technically just tie a knot in this toggle and then shorten the strap if it was slightly long for you. And I do think that this one would look a little bit better. You can see there how the toggle is there, and you could just tie it there to make it a little bit shorter if you really wanted to. So I do think that this bag is a little bit more adjustable than say the Chanel. Again, not that it's meant to be adjustable, but it's possible. Okay, so I want to go ahead and go into how much each of them carry. And so I'm just going to put my things in there. We've got my 6-ring key holder. I'm not really going to try to do this like a what's in my bag type of video just because for time wise, here is a clay, and just you could put money in here. You could put coin in here. You could put credit cards in here. I also, honestly, I prefer putting money and credit cards in these bags pockets here, but I do want to show you this. So you can still put money back here. You can use this for hair ties or just kind of random thingies that you want to put in your bag. So I'm going to go and throw that in there as well. And then the next big thing that I have is my iPhone. This is the iPhone 7, not the Plus, just the regular iPhone. And I just want to show you that in there. This really isn't going to be a what's in my bag, but I just want to do this as quickly as possible. And then next, I do carry this with me everywhere. This is my Thieves Spray, so I'm going to put that there. And then last is a lip gloss of some kind, and I just grabbed a MAC one, and I'm just going to throw that on top. So I just want to show you really quickly that everything does fit. It closes just fine. And then I'm going to put all of this stuff in the Chanel to show. Okay, so here's everything inside the Chanel, and you can see that is all 5 pieces in there, and it fits the same exact amount, and there's the same amount like left on top. Not that I would put anything extra, and there it is close. So you can see everything fits inside. I would say as far as interior space, they definitely hold the exact same amount. So I wanted to show them both on so you could see how long the straps are for reference. I am 5'2", and you can see that the Chanel is definitely a much shorter strap drop. And I do actually, I mean, even though the Furla looks fine on the shoulder, I do prefer the Furla crossbody, and let me show you. Now the Chanel, because it is shorter, is literally, and it depends on really honestly what you're wearing, it can be a little bit too short crossbody in my opinion. And then the Furla, I think personally looks really nice crossbody. Now I am wearing a super chunky sweater today, so it does look like things do look a little bit different whenever you're doing that, especially since I'm doing 2, but you can see how they look. And like I said, I am 5'2". I know that a lot of people are going to be curious about the quality of the Furla bag. I think that people automatically assume when you're comparing 2 items, one one that's very expensive and one that's less expensive, or the more affordable kind of dupe version, that the dupe more affordable version is going to be of a lower quality. Now, I'm not saying that this one isn't lower quality than Chanel, but I just want to talk about this bag on its own, not necessarily comparing it to Chanel quality, because I really don't think that you can compare something like this to Chanel quality. It would be like comparing it to Louis Vuitton quality or Hermes quality. I just don't feel like they're in the same category, so I do think they're completely different. I just want to talk about the quality of this bag in general, and I will say that I am very, very happy with the quality of this bag. The stitching is beautiful. The lining I think is beautiful. I didn't really touch on the lining, but I do think the inside is really beautiful on this bag. It's just a really easy, clean, simple, elegant bag. I also love that the flat part is the raw leather, which there's something about raw leather that just feels really nice. It reminds me of the interior of the Celine bags, so I do love that. I also love the gold hardware. I love the shade of the gold. It's not a tacky gold. It's a very soft, muted gold, which is my personal favorite. So I just really love the quality of this bag. I also think the chain is really nice. When it comes to more affordable bags, again, not that $300 is necessarily affordable to everybody, but because I'm comparing it to a Chanel today, I am going to call this one the affordable one. But when you're talking about like an affordable bag and you think about chains, sometimes you think that they're going to stick or they're going to grab or they're going to pull, and this one is very smooth and very comfortable. It is cylinder shape, which makes it even more comfortable in my opinion. It's almost like a snake. I love the chain, but the quality of this bag is amazing. It's beautiful. I guess I should also mention that this one does have 4 feet, and that would be something that the Chanel doesn't have. The Chanel does not have 4 feet on the bottom. Now, I will admit that it's not like the feet are super, super usable, because the bottoms on this one does go down on the sides just because of the way that the glazing and the way that it's been stitched. It doesn't necessarily make it usable, but I just think they're so cute. So I think that's a really nice feature. So there's definitely a lot of features about this bag that are very impressive. And I think for a $300 bag, even though that's expensive, it's very nice quality. They put pretty much every single feature that you would expect of a luxury bag. They put it in here, but they gave it to you at a $300 or just under $300 price tag. So I love it. I love the detail of the lock. I just think in general, this is a very beautiful bag. And I think for the price, you do get a lot for the price. Now, if you talk about the Chanel, I mean, I really can't, what do I say? Chanel is Chanel. So, and especially because mine is vintage, I do feel like it's difficult for me to necessarily talk about Chanel in general, because obviously every year is different. I do think that just in luxury in general, Louis Vuitton's quality's gone down. I think Chanel's quality's gone down. I think in general, quality has just gone down in general just because of the demand for bags. Because mine is 2008, I do think it's beautiful. It's in great condition. The quality looks amazing. The way that it's manufactured is slightly different, so the shape is different. So you can see the way that this one is, if you just look at the edges, the corners of this one, the way that it's more flat, whereas this one is not. So they are definitely differently constructed bags, but they're both beautiful, and I do really think that both of them give similar vibes. If you're looking for something to go to holiday parties or something like that, I think both of them are great. If you're looking for even just a casual day bag and you really just need something, like if you're really, really sizing down, I think both of these are beautiful. I have worn both of these dressy, I have worn both of them casual, and I love them both equally. So I'm not really planning on picking which one's my favorite, because I love them both because they are mine. I do not see either one of them leaving my collection soon. If anything, I do see expanding my collection in both. I definitely could see getting another Chanel mini square in the future. Not anytime soon, just because they are so expensive. But if I did, I would go for more of a classic color, maybe like a beige or a tan or a gray or something like that. And then I love the idea of adding another Furla, but maybe in a fun color, something that I could use for spring or summer. And because it is a little bit more affordable, or a lot more affordable, I feel like you can play a little bit more with those kind of colors. At least in my opinion, I don't tend to spend a lot of money on colored bags, but I do love the idea of getting a nice quality luxury bag at a great price in something fun that is just, you know, you don't have a lot of money invested in it. So I think they're both great. Which one is your favorite? Do you have either? Do you plan on getting either? I'd love to know down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was fun kind of talking about these two bags and everything, but dogs are getting rowdy. Let me go and head out, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And bye-bye.